Welcome everybody. This session is for class 12th computer science students, chapter number 2, function, part 2nd. Today we will cover these topics: first, returning value, parameters or arguments, variables scope, mutable immutable property of object, passing list to function, and modules. So let's start. First of all, returning value from function. So return command in Python specifies what value is to be returned back to the calling function. Function can take input values as parameters, execute them and return output to the calling function with a return statement. This is the syntax. So first of all, def keyword will come, after that function name, then parenthesis, then colon. Then inside the block you will define the function, then a value will come with return keyword that we want to return back to the function. So at the last, function calling will come. This is the important thing. First of all, variable name will come in which this value will return. Now take an example. For it I have to open my ideally. So here I will type ideally. It will take few seconds. Now it is open. Now new file I will open. Here I will give the definition of sum of two numbers. So for it, def keyword will come, sum parenthesis, then colon, a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to a plus b. Then from here I will call the function sum this. In previous program I had print this sum inside the definition like this, comma c. Now I will save this program, give the location on desktop with name b. Whenever I will execute this program, so output will come sum is equal to 30. But in this case I don't want to print output here. I want to print output with calling. So for it I have to give a variable name. So here I am taking x is equal to sum and output is coming inside the block into c. So from here I will return c. Return c. So output will come into c, then this c will return out to the function. So the value of c will come into x. Now I will print the value of x. So sum is equal to x. Same output I will receive. Sum is equal to 30. So this is returning value from function. We can also return multiple values from function. So for it, this is the syntax. First of all, def keyword will come, then function name, parenthesis, then inside the block return, then values separated by commas. Then in function calling, these values will come with as a variable separated by commas is equal to then function name. Now take an example. Same example we will continue. Here I had written single value, but in this case I want to return three values, two inputs a and b and one output c. So for it I have to write a comma b comma c. So these three values will be returned into this function. So a will store into x, b will store into y and c will store into z. So these three values a, b, c will return out to x, y and z. Now I will modify my message, sum of x and y is equal to z. Now execute the program. Answer is coming sum of 10 and 20 is equal to 30 because these two inputs are coming into a and b. These are returning into x and y. That's why it is printing sum of x and y, that is sum of 10 and 20 here. Sum of 10 and 20. is equal to Z, because output is coming into C, this is returning into Z, so output is coming is equal to 30. Next topic is parameters and arguments in function. So parameters are the values provided in the parenthesis in definition. Like these are specified after the function name. Inside the parenthesis, multiple parameters are specified by comma, and arguments are the values that is passed to function when it is called. This is the syntax. So first of all, this is the definition of function. So it will start with def keyword, then function name will come, and inside the parenthesis parameters will come separated by comma. Then in the block of definition, statements will come, then at the last function calling will come, and here these arguments will come, those will pass to the parameters. Now take an example. In our previous program we had sum of two numbers. Now in this program we will also do the sum of these two numbers, but here we will not pass these two numbers inside the block of definition. We will pass these two numbers from the function calling. So 10 comma 20. So now 10 and 20 are the arguments of the functions. How much arguments I have passed here? 2. First 10 and second 20. So two variables I have to define inside the definition of functions. So here I am taking x comma y. So first of all 10 will store into x and 20 will store into y. So in this case 10 and 20 are called arguments and x and y are called parameters. These arguments will store into parameters. Now I will modify this expression. Z is equal to x plus y. So x plus y means 10 plus 20 will store into z. Then I will return the value of z. Z will store into s. So here sum is equal to s. Now execute this program. The answer is coming correct. Sum is equal to 30 because these two numbers I have taken as input. 10 20 10 20 will store into x and y, and x plus y is equal to 30 will store into z, and after that I will return z. It will store into sum, then it will print sum is equal to 30. Next is types of arguments. So there are four types of arguments in function. First is required argument, second keyword argument, third default argument, and fourth one is variable length argument. So first of all, required argument. It is also known as positional argument. So these argument passed to a function in correct positional order. For example, we'll take an example. So this is a definition of function ABC in which two parameters I have passed a comma b, because definition is also having two arguments x comma y. As the name suggests, required or positional argument. So first value is the value of first argument will store into the value of first parameter, means the value of x will store into a, and the value of second argument will store into second parameter, means y, value of y will store into b. So what is the value of x? 10. So 10 will store into a, and value of y hello will store into b. If I will execute this program, so my output will come 10 hello. Now check the answer. Yes, answer is coming 10 hello, because first I am printing value of a and second I am printing value of b. In a, value of x will store, that is 10. In b, value of y will store, that is hello. So answer is coming 10 hello. If I will change the value, in place of x if I will write y, and in place of y I will write x, so what will be the output? So the first value will store into the first parameter, means the value of y, that is hello, will store into a, and value of x, that is 10, will store into b. Now in this case my output will hello 10. Now check the answer. Look at here, hello 10. So this is positional argument. Next is keyword arguments, in which the caller identifies the arguments by the parameter's name. For example, this is the definition of ABC. Two parameters are here, a comma b, and this is the calling of function ABC. Here I have written value of b is equal to hello and value of a is equal to 10. I have set the keys as b on first position hello and of a second position 10. Whenever I will execute this program, so this function call will call to its definition and it will search where is b. B is on second position, so the value of b will store into here on second one, this hello, and a value of a will store into first position 10. So answer will come, I am printing first a then b. So what is the value of a? 10. And what is the value of b? Hello. Now we will execute the program. So answer is coming correct, 10 hello. If I will change the position, so a is equal to 10 will come first and b is equal to hello will come next. So in this case, what will be the output? Output will come same, because I have set the key as a, because variable a is taken here, a is also here, so value of 10 will store into a. So in this case, answer will come same, 10 hello. Third one is default arguments, that assumes a default value if a value is not provided to argument. Sometimes we can provide default values for our positional arguments. If we are not passing any name, then only default value will be considered. For example, this here simple, I have created a function ABC in which one parameter is here, a is equal to Amit, and here I am printing hello a. This is function call in which I have not given any argument. So what it will take, because it is a default argument, I have set here a is equal to Amit. So by default, if there is no argument here, so by default it will take Amit. So in this case, answer will come hello Amit. Now check the answer. Answer is coming hello Amit. If I will write ABC and passing one argument as John, so in this case John will replace to Amit and answer will come hello John. So first of all, in first case answer will come hello Amit, because this will call default argument, because there is no argument here, so by default it will call to this parameter Amit. So in this case answer will come hello Amit, and in case of second one, parameter will become John, it will replace to first one. So in this case answer will come hello John. So we will get two answers, first answer hello Amit and second answer hello John. Now check the answer, hello Amit, hello John. Next is variable length arguments. It passes multiple values with single argument next. In certain situations, we can pass variable number of arguments to function. Such type of arguments are called variable length arguments. So variable length arguments are declared with asterisk sign. For example, this is the syntax of variable length argument. So here it is passed with asterisk sign. I am taking an example. These three functions are calling to the same definition of sum. In first, 0 argument, in second 1 argument, and in third 2 arguments I have passed. But in function definition only one parameter is here with asterisk sign. What will here in this case? Actually these arguments will pass as a tuple. The type of these values will be tuple. Now check the values of these arguments. So for it I have to write this code, and this code I am removing. Now execute this program, so it will tell the types of three arguments as tuple: first tuple, second tuple, and third tuple, because I have called this function three times: first, second, third. If I will write the previous program, so what will come here? It will take the value of n in first case as 0 because there is no argument, so the value of n will be 0. In this case, sum will come 0 because it is adding the numbers, so here will come 0. In second case, 10 will pass, so 10 will come into n as a tuple, so value of I will store number 1, so 0 to 10, 0 to 1, that is 0 plus 1, 0 plus 10, 10 will come. So in second case 10 will come, and in case of third one, so output will come 10 plus 20, that is 30. Now execute this program, so output will come 0, 10 and 30. 0, 10 and 30. Next is variables scope in function. So there are two types of variables with the view of scope. First is local variable and second is global variable. Local variable accessible only inside the functional block where it is declared, but global variable which is accessible among whole program using global keyword. For example, simple function I have declared with name 1, a is equal to 10, print a. In this case, if I will execute this program, this function call will call to its definition, and inside the definition statements are written a10, print a, so it will print simple 10. So check the answer. Answer is coming 10, correct. But if I will write print a after the function calling, what will come in this case? First 10 is coming, after that an error message is coming, that is name a is not defined. Why? Because this a is declared inside this function and the scope of this variable is inside this function only, but whenever I will call this function outside this class or outside this function, so it will give an error message. So for resolve this problem, we will use global variable. So for it I have to make it global a. Now a is become global, so you can call a anywhere in your program. So now in this case program output will come 10, 10. Look at here, answer is coming first 10, second 10, because first of all this function is calling, a is global and the value of a is 10. First of all a, it is printing, after that function is completed, then next it is calling again a, so the value of a is, it will take 10 because it is global. This is the definition of local and global variable. Next is mutable immutable property of data objects. As you know, everything in Python is an object, and every object in Python can be either mutable or immutable. Mutable means which value can be changed, and immutable means which value cannot be changed. So mutable objects are list, dictionary, set, byte, arrays. These are mutable objects, and immutable objects are int, float, complex, string, tuple, etc. Next is passing array or list to function. Here a function is written do something. This is the definition of function, and this is calling of function. From this function this object is passed, and this is list, because you know a list is declared inside the square bracket, so this is a list is passing. So for it a variable you will write as parameter, and here this is a loop. It is iterating the values of list for element in the list. This is loop, element is a variable and the list is also a variable that is declared here, and it will iterate one by one values of this list. First of all output will come 1, then 2, then 3. Like after completing this function, cursor will come here, next list it is created, red, green, blue, so it will print red, green, blue. Next is functions using libraries or modules. As you know, module is a collection of same type of functions. So here we will study mathematical function first. So mathematical functions are available under math module. To use mathematical functions under this module, we have to import the module using import math. For example, to use sqrt function, this is for square root, we have to write statement like given below: import math r is equal to math dot sqrt 4. I want to square root of 4, so for it I will write this line: r is equal to math dot sqrt. Then after that, if I will print the value of r, then I will get 2, because square root of 4 is 2. Same, some functions available in Python math modules are this is the list. Next, functions using libraries, system defined function. Now string functions we will study. Like mathematical functions, some string functions are here. String functions are available in Python standard module. These are always available to use. For example, capitalize, this is a function. It will convert the first letter of a string to uppercase. This is an example. This is a string, it is stored into s variable. Here it is written r is equal to s dot capitalized, then parenthesis. This function will execute and it will convert the first letter of the string like this. I love programming. I is capitalized. Some string functions are here: capitalized, case fold, center, count, encoded, and with, find, format, index. Some are here also. Thank you very much.